Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders seeing what's current. It's official. New Jersey Supreme Court has favored the I don't know if you say defendant or whatever. They're ruling in the favor of the school, a Catholic school, Mother Teresa, I think is in school, and over a pregnancy case. A woman got pregnant in 2014, actually. And it happened. It just so happened that the teacher, wanted to get, wanted to see if the school would say that they were in the wrong when she was in the wrong for getting pregnant. Now I'm an atheist and I'm siding with the Catholic Church. You know why? Because it's a private institution. It's So here it is. The file for she was unwed. They cited her from fornication out of marriage. Setting a poor example for the students, the young second graders that she was teaching, and the High Court, the Supreme Court, sided with the Catholic school over this whole issue. But I want to get into this. I want to show how if you're black, trans, you can be excluded from a private institution, and that should be the law. And that has been upheld today with this New Jersey ruling. The woman tried to say, I want to see about my rights. I want to see about, even though I was pregnant, I could still work here. No, you can't. No. New Jersey Supreme Court ruled that, even though she, had, the battle along this whole time, it's going on almost a decade in the court system. She probably spent hundreds of thousands of dollars or maybe millions. I don't know how much money she spent on the legal team. But this is what it breaks down to in our society, in our world. The difference between private and not private. The difference between government and non-government. All non-government designated businesses and owners and property owners, they should be able to do whatever the hell they want within the law. And the law should be rational and objective. It should state whether it will be said that they will protect you under the guidance of that law. For instance, let's take it back. Jim Crow era, whites only, coloreds only. As stupid and ridiculous as that was, I side with it. I think there should be whites only, there should be blacks only, there should be reds only, yellows only, browns only. It should be like that. But we'll see what happens when you have a browns only Walmart, and you have a whites only Target, you have a blacks only TJ Maxx. See how much business is done. See how much green comes in after you talk about all those colors. That's this thing with, that was so disgusting with the Civil Rights Bill, the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That forced businesses, and Catholic schools are businesses. You can pay them any way you want. They are businesses. That bill, that act, disrupted a whole lot of businesses and made it worse on a lot of people. Now you can argue, oh well, it was for freedom for people that were of color. They were able to access different diners and hotels and things like that. That shouldn't be the case. The case should be, if you are what I want you to be, you can be in here. If you're not, keep it moving. Keep on stepping. That's what it should be. That's the case from a rational, objective perspective. So for this unwed, married teacher, she was shown to be in the wrong legally because she violated the school's own dictates, what they or their ideas. They had the right to dismiss her, to fire her, because she went outside of their contract. That is grounds for righteousness. That's great. That's proper. That's good. Even though it's a mystical institution, they still have the wherewithal to say who they want to have in their business and who they want to reject, who they want to fire, who they want to hire, and who they want to fire. They have every right to do that. Every single right. And, for people that don't take it seriously, they'll find that they'll be, packing up their boxes and bags and going off into this, to their cars with all their belongings, cleaning out their desks. But that's just it. There should be, there should be private schools. This would probably be the best way to do it. Privatize all the schools, buy out every government school in this country, and turn them into Apples and Googles and Samsung and Netflix. These multi-billion and sometimes trillion-dollar companies. Make them into schools. Why can't we do that? I want to know. Can we do that at all? Can we have some kind of idea of making that so? Can we have an idea of making it possible that we have people? I'm just texting right now, but that we have people to do that. I think that's the greatest challenge. One of the greatest challenges besides the healthcare system is the education, our minds and our bodies, and our minds as well with both education and healthcare, but especially our minds with education, and especially our bodies with healthcare. So I think that is crucial to our existence in America. I've spoken about this before. India, China. I know, the last two are countries, and the first is a continent, but he went to various places in Africa. And also in the other two countries, but primarily he traversed different countries in Africa. Okay. Simple. Take these tiny schools, these tiny private schools that you pay what, $30 a month or something like that. It was amazing. Maybe even less. You pay this amount of money, your child gets a great education. They can immigrate, come to America, have the brains come over, not have the reverse of a brain drain. That's what could happen. That's what should happen. That's the problem we have today. Is that fact that we don't have more Catholic schools. If you're going to be a Catholic school, have more Catholic schools. I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to send my kid to a Catholic school. Chances likely. So it becomes an issue when you realize the fact that we don't have a free market society enterprise. We don't have that. Anybody who tells you this is a free country, you can look at them twice. Like, wait a minute, hold on. This is not a free country. There are too many regulations and controls that are damning us, that are damaging us, that are making us worse off because of the fact that we don't have the rights and the power the government has the power, but we don't have the rights to say what we want to say and how we want to say it in education and a healthcare system, especially education, especially education. They should be able to have so many schools that can say you can a secular school can say, look, if you have fornication, as they like to say, before marriage, and you're not and you want to continue to work here, you're gonna have you need to have second thoughts, because that's not gonna fly around here. You can't be unwed and with child at the same time. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You can be whoever you want to be, but one thing is for sure, and two things are for certain. You can't be in this school with that kind of. You don't have the right to do it. And I'm so glad that New Jersey sided with the Catholic Church. The young mother can go so many other places. She can start her own Catholic school, can't she? What's stopping her? I don't know even what her name was. What was her name? It just says teacher. It's not showing. Oh, it is. It's apparently Italian. Victoria Crisitello. Victoria Crisitello. That she was dismissed. She was terminated in 2014 from St. Theresa School in Kenilworth, New Jersey. And that was illegal because the New Jersey law against discrimination lists marital status and pregnancy as specially protected classes. This is from a source by Dana DeFilippo from the New Jersey Monitor. And the title is New Jersey High Court sides the Catholic school that fired unwed pregnant teacher. So that, is proper. That is so true. She was first hired as a toddler room caregiver in 2011. And she betrayed. This is what's saying in the story. It said that she betrayed church teachings rather than her unwed pregnant status. Solomon wrote. That's what Justice Lee Solomon wrote. Now, of course, I'm sure, there have been leanings. People in the court system were probably leaning towards the Catholic school because of mysticism, because it's faith-based, because it's not based on rationality and reality. They're basing it on God and how these women should be completely chaste and not promiscuous or fornicating, as I said before. But this is a beautiful example of hatred, of beautiful hatred, objective hate, because it's almost contradictory. It's like something that has so much irrationality as the Catholic Church, but it's the closest to a sense of life more than most faiths combined. They really try to lean on those teachings and have them prescribed for their employees, and for them to know what the difference is and what is what and what is real and what's not real, what is the case and what is not the case. That's what I think it should be explored. That's what I think should be thought of. And I'll go back again to Jim Crow. Just the stupidity of that. It's stupid. Blacks, coloreds only, whites only. It's very stupid. It's like, first of all, what is a white and what is a colored? How many are colored? Are brown, red, and yellow colored? Or is it just blacks? Because the majority of blacks live around here. I don't see a lot of red, brown, and yellow people, but I guess they could be colored too. Are they white? Was Desi Arnaz, was he brown? Was he colored? Did he go to the white restrooms because he has straight hair and almost light skin? That's the thing with Latinas and Latinos. They have that weird understanding who they are. White people know who they are though, and some black people too. Black people know who they are too. When they come up to those golf courses, they could be millionaires, and then look at them twice like, who is this? Like, can you grab my caddy? Or, there's some dust in the hallway. Could you sweep that up, please? That's they know it then. It could be billionaires, brown people. But that's what it was. I mean, look, that's what amazed me with I Love Lucy. That was in the 50s. He could have straight hair and semi-light skin, speak Spanish. That's the thing. If you can speak a different language, we can speak Spanish. Oh my! And then, just imagine if he was coal black with a big afro. It wouldn't probably be an afro at that point. He'd probably be a conch. He'd probably have a conch in his hair and be married to Lucille Ball. They would tear down the TV station. They would set the place on fire. There wouldn't be a show. They wouldn't even get on the air. That happened. Plus, the miscegenation laws weren't even in effect then. It was much later when they went into it. But it's just so stupid, like I said, the Catholic Church is in the right. I give them, every bit of credit as I can. I can't give them all full credit because I know they're, completely mystical. But they have the right to say, if you're unmarried, if you're unwed, and you're pregnant, you gotta hit the bricks. You gotta get out of here. You've got to abide by our rules and regulations of our own company. And that is a company. Like I said, private schools are companies. They're private organizations. They make money through tuition and other means. They take in dollars that no one else has been able to make. That's what's so amazing about all of this. This is, the way that people have to realize. People have to realize that, it may not sound good, but it's the fact of the matter. The fact of reality. And there are some, like, you can't be discriminated. Like I said before, for being gay, lesbian, trans, queer, black, white, brown, red, yellow, short, tall, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty. You should be able to be exempt because of all of that. A private organization to say that. This goes back to recent organizations. It's similar to, but not exactly the same as the web designer case. I can't remember the exact names, but I can just give you a gist of what the case was. It was the lady that turned away I think it was a gay couple because they wanted to have a website designed by them, and she was ruled in her favor. And then there, of course, it was the gentleman, and this is not too far from where this took place, and it was a few years ago. And that case was this year. Or it was settled this year. And the gay couple wanted a cake designed, by this man. He refused to do it, and he had every right to do that. Probably not very bright. You get more money, probably. You get more status, but there's a little thing more than money. There's integrity. If he didn't want to sell it to this gay couple, then that's his right. He was right for doing that. I disagree. I think he should have, sold it to the gay couple. They're human beings. They're human beings too. So they have a mind. They can create and make and go on to the next business, make them money. You just lost a client right there, and you're going to lose more clients depending on what it is, depending on where you are and who you deal with. You might have more people that come out in support of whatever you're doing. But this ruling is completely justified, completely in the scheme of things, in the right way of doing things. To that point, to the point that it is a private organization, and that they can do whatever they wish within the law. And the lad or law, let me see, Christina Vicky Barcelona. No, I can't remember her name though. It's Victoria Crisitello. Crisitello. Sorry, was that racist? I didn't mean. But Crisitello. She was dismissed and she lost her court case. Here's the lawyer that represented St. Theresa School. We are pleased that the Supreme Court upheld the rights of religious employers to act consistent with their religious tenets, and that the court found that St. Theresa School did so here. This is attorney Peter Verniero. Equally important, the court found no evidence of discrimination in this case. This is a significant validation of St. Theresa School's rights as a religious employer. See, this is the thing now. I would say discriminate. Discriminate all you want. That's all you should do. Discriminate however you like. I mentioned this just before in this broadcast. Black, white, brown, red, yellow. Races, women, trans, queer, atheists, theists, believers, non-believers. Discriminate on those grounds and have the laws be changed back, to laws that are rational, that aren't trampling on other people's rights, like the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Something like that. Something that transcends what is normal, what is predictable, what is regular, what is, what people expect. Because all of it's about the money. This country, it's about the money. That's what keeps us rational. That's what keeps us, within good standing with each other. That what keeps us from using fists and clubs and guns and knives. We still have that, but it would be widespread and complete chaos and mayhem. Depending on how much, people would be looting and rioting in the streets. Way more than you saw with George Floyd or anybody else, or with Michael Brown or anybody like that. Way more. Whole lot more. So the decision by the Supreme Court set a precedent. And it's probably going to wake up a lot of people. Because this can't be the only this case ever. This can't be. One school in New Jersey? Are you kidding me? One teacher? How many teachers are fornicating? I use the scare quotes. How many of them are fornicating and using contraceptives? How many of them are, not receiving the seed, I'll say, in their womb? Got to be dozens, hundreds, maybe thousands, maybe millions of teachers. And she's the only one out of all these teachers in Catholic schools around the country, even around the globe, hell, around the world. I doubt that highly. Let's not be naive here. She's not the only one that was getting down and still getting down. But I side with the Catholic Church. They're an employer. They have a set of rules and they have a set of ideas and tenets that must be followed if you want to work there. if you want to be an employee. It's not a charity. I mean, they do charitable work, but if you want to work there and get paid, you want to get a paycheck, it has to be made so that you make the ideas of wherever employer you choose be your own ideals. And discrimination all the way. I'm for discrimination. I'm not for the stupidity of discrimination, but for every non-governmental entity, there should be discrimination. If you're part of the government, part of the proper systems of government, the proper agencies of government, the military, the law courts, and the police force, they should all be, anybody, everybody, anybody and everybody with a mind and the ability to fulfill the roles of that specific agency, come aboard. But everybody else, Apple should be able to fire you because you're gay. Maybe ironic. Our CEO is gay, Kim Cook. But they should be able to fire you because you're black. They should be able to fire you because you're white. They should be able to fire you because you're yellow, brown, gay, queer, a woman. Whatever it is that makes you other or different, or you have to check a different box. You're brown, you're Latino. Whatever that case is, you have to make it sure. And I just saw somebody come in the room, Richard James. Subscribe to Spirit Smooth Tunes on YouTube, Richard James. I respect you, sir. You're my only person in this room after 27 minutes. Did you just get the message? Did you just get the message on your phone that I was on live? I appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir. Respect to you. I just need to shake your pockets. I know you ask a lot of questions sometimes, and I have to say the target is $80. So that's the case with this. With this teacher, she lost. She had to. She took a double hit. She got fired. Maybe more than a double. She got fired. Tried to take it to the Supreme Court in New Jersey. Lost in the courts and probably has to pay a whole lot more legal fees. She got like a trifecta of losing. Okay, you watched from the Wild Flat Screen. How much have you watched already? Have you watched from in the middle just a few seconds ago? Because sometimes YouTube doesn't register. It registers only when it wants to. It shows, okay, just started. Okay, this is an unrelated story, or slightly related story. There was a ruling I just saw pop up on ruling on an abortion pill, saying that's let me see. Appeals court says abortion pill mifepristone should remain on the market, but rules in favor of limiting access. See, it's related to this because they, the Catholic Church goes against, contraceptives and abortion pills and different items like that. They're all for getting married and having 12 kids at least in the family. That's the Catholic Church, I mean, no sex before marriage, but when you're in marriage, make sure you pop out as many puppies as you can. Have fun with that. Have 10, 12, 15 kids in the litter, something like that. But I think it's come down since previous times. But that's all for the teacher. She's got to take her lumps and realize the reality of rights and what they mean for employers. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about what else? My story. Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. I just got a boost yesterday in readership. The previous day I had 6 reads. Yesterday I had 36 reads, so 6 times as many reads as I had in the previous day. So something is going on. You guys are getting the message out. I know Richard James, you definitely are one of the people that make it. You keep on saying rule of the skull. It's the rule of the air, my friend. So I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. But it's the ruler of the air, kingdom of the air. Excuse me, ruler of the kingdom of the air. But I gotta see your previous. I'll go back to the teacher real quick. The teachers have the responsibility of making sure they cause no controversy. The teacher failed. Well, I wouldn't say that. They can cause as much controversy as they want, just as long as they're in the bounds of the school rules, the school's rules. That's basically all they have to do. Just know that you can't be pregnant and show up to work at a Catholic school and you ain't got no husband. What's up with that? Ooh, no, I'll probably get a copyright strike for that. But it struck me as very weird. I had to delve into this story. I had to delve into the story. But you can look it up. I have it. It's in my description. You can find a different way of describing what happened. But moving on, ruler of the kingdom of the air has gotten just a few more. There's a definitely check out this man, Ralph Anthony Garcia. He is a wonderful orator. He's a great reader. He read my story on air this morning, and it just he has one of the great voices. I don't have a great voice. I have a okay voice. I have a good voice. He is definitely a supporter and a champion. Let me see if I can't find his YouTube. Wow. He has United Ronin Networks. That was just him right there. Hopefully he doesn't sue me for that. But I'll put it in the live chat. His name. Ralph Anthony Garcia channel. Go to him. Read all the book. He reads a lot of books and stories already. He just happened to read mine. I appreciate him for that. And the word is getting out, and I still have most of September and the rest of this month to do as much pounding the pavement, the digital pavement as I can, getting the word out. Only 2 people have liked the story other than myself. So I'm looking for you, Richard James. You can like the story as well. That helps out the algorithm. I learned that. The more likes you get, the more popular you get, the more eyes go on your story. And that's what makes it so gratifying, so great. Well, I would love to answer that question, Richard James, but you got to put some dollars on it. You put some dollars on it, and I will definitely answer that question. But Ralph definitely he calls it Ralph Reads. It's in turn every time I forget. God, the United Ronin Networks. That's what he calls it. He calls it the United Ronin Networks. So definitely check him out. He's worth the time. He has a definite idea of what he wants to be and what he purports to be. He has many followers and many views. He has over 1 million views on his channel. So he's not some, lightweight. You can read that story, my story, on his live. It has over 100 views on it right now. So, and there's also Sister Soldier's Midnight 3, I think it's called. But I'm of course promoting my own. Yeah. So there's 2 people in here according to YouTube. Put a 1 up if you're not named Richard James. Whoever you are, who are you? As the wizard says in The Wizard of Oz. Again, you're asking Richard James. Look like you're asking a lot of questions. I'm not seeing a lot of dollar signs. All right, just back to Richard James, I guess. 1 person in here, but I definitely am, amazed and not shocked or surprised, but just taken aback by his oratorical skills, his ability to convey a message from just reading off the page. I mean, he didn't even show any hesitation for most parts of the text. Seemed like he understood it and could convey it with enough gravitas and enough understanding. I will not read it live until probably the end of September. I like how you put it where you put it as a comment, as a statement rather than a question. You guys, you were quick there. I saw that. Because if you put a question, you definitely got to put dollars on it. Richard James, salute to you. But I need my dollars. I need them. I need that something to fold. I need that dollar sign. Your birthday is in the end of September. Okay. I don't celebrate my birthday. My family celebrates my birthday. I don't celebrate my birthday. I celebrate my birthday every day. They say stuff like, "Oh, I can't yell at you today. It's your birthday." Yell at me, please. It's my birthday every day. You yell at me the day before and you yell at me the day after. What difference does it make? Just because you were, had a specific date? You kidding me? That's not how it should be. But getting back to the lecture at hand. Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. It's definitely picking up buzz. It's more geared towards people that are willing to open their eyes, use their 8th eye, skip right past the 3rd eye, get 6 more eyes, and properly understand the rules and the role of what it means to be in this story, what this story actually means, the irony of it, the suggestion of it, the thinking behind it. Okay, you're saying he wrote for Lady Gaga. See, look, right now, Richard James just wrote something in the live chat, and I see 0 people in my viewer count. That's how YouTube works. The algorithm is a little off. It's just a little off. Just by a little bit. But that's okay. That's all right. We're gonna keep this train moving. I think that this is not my favorite story, but this is my finest story. This is my finest story. This is a story that will define me. Because it's just the first chapter. It's not even a whole book. It's not a series of stories yet. I plan on doing that. There's so many options. There's so many ways that I can monetize this. Probably outside of vocal even. But for the most part right now, okay, it's back to one viewer. Whoever, it's Richard James, I would imagine. But this is the one that said that I can actually be free with ideas, free with the thoughts of doing things, use mystical elements, or use rational elements, or use different things like that, and try to tell a story and see if you can pick up on the clue, pick up on the whole idea, the whole gist of this story. That's where it all, stems from. It stems from the idea of changing your viewpoint of what you think it is. And especially since the fact that I provide people of color in Delaware in a certain time period, I have all these different activities and actions that go on. I try to infuse that and imbue that in that story, in the tale itself. For one thing, I think it's possible to see that we're all, interconnected on a level. And that's what this story tries to explain. Just in the first chapter, chapter 1, it gives you a roadmap of where this story could go and where it should go. But also, it can be confined and stand alone as just one story, a short story. It's over 3,300 words, but you can get through it because it zips through. It flies through. It doesn't stagnate. It doesn't stay on one point. It keeps moving ever so gracefully, if I must say so myself. It has all the elements to make it a great way. Well, again, I'm not even going to respond to you, Richard James. I appreciate you and thank you very much. But I can't respond to those, even the statements, unless I get at least $5 from you. $10. That's all I'm asking. $5 or $10. You got a big screen TV. You got the internet service. You got YouTube. I'm just suggesting that you have a little bit more than $5 or $10 in your bank account that you can cash out right now. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking for. $5 or $10. Because this is just what Mr. Troy Star Terrain calls a researcher. This is the research what the time is, because this isn't peak time. A lot of people are at work still. Then when they get off, they have to have dinner. They have to get their kids fed. They have to put them to bed. So it's around 8 or 9 that I go on the air, to try to give a better understanding of what is the best time slot for me. And that usually is around 8 to 9. 8 or 9 o'clock. I get, sometimes I get 4 or 5 people online. 5, 6, 12. I mean, you want to talk about Paul Rubens? Paul Rubens put me on, 234 people on the live stream. Because I just said Paul Rubens' death. Bam. People saw that on the internet. Oh my God, what happened? And that was the clickbait. I'm all about clickbait. What's wrong with clickbait? People hate. Oh my God, that's just clickbait. That's just clickbait. And they get feisty. They get angry. Clickbait is great. That's how you get your views up. That's how you get your money. That's like bait for a fish. You're against bait for a fish, then? Clickbait. No. All right, somebody else is in this live. There's 2 people there's 1 person besides Richard James. Raise up a fist, raise up a glass, put you whatever emoji you want to use. Just let me know you're in here. Just let me know who you are, so I can do research. So I have research on Richard James. He's a dedicated young man. He's dedicated. See, look at that. How he was introduced to me through Paul Rubens. Okay, Richard. Yeah. Apparently, it's 2 people. There's another person in here besides you, Richard James. I don't know. But ruler of the kingdom of the air. It looks like this. Or like this, actually. This is not my middle finger. This is the ring finger. This was Monday. This was Tuesday. I'm not sure what it's like today. Okay, I don't know. Maybe you may be older than me. I'm 35. I can finally become president. I'll never become president, but I have the eligibility now. Hell, if Trump can do it, why who can't be president? Seriously. But anyway, um, ruler of the kingdom of the air. It's growing. It's not as quick and spry as I want it to be, but it's definitely rolling along. I mean, Ralph helped me with that. A lot of people are understand. Oh, okay. 62. Okay, pardon me, sir. Let me put some respect on your name. You're 62 years old. You're elder to me. I respect you. Mind, and you're using it not just because of your age. Age ain't nothing but a number. But the fact that you have a mind and you use it, I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. And again, make sure you tell people, let people know about the story. Let people know about this live stream that I have. Continue on. And plus, if you're 62, you should be getting Social Security and Medicare pretty soon. If you don't already have it, I have both. I have Social Security and I have Medicare and I have disability. I have VA, Veterans Affairs Disability. So Billy has, there's a, you know what? This is a freebie. This is a free. I'll just talk about this for a little bit. This is a free token on the bingo card. Yes, Billy has come on to my live when you were on before. If you remember, Billy came on for a very quick moment and was checking out the place and then quickly left. So respect to Billy. Ruler of the kingdom of the air. It just I'm just so proud of my work. It's not like yeah, I gotta shell that, I gotta shill this, I gotta throw this in people's faces and go on. Could you read my story? Could you read my story? No, it's like read my story, please. Do have some thoughts about it. Consider it. It'll make you think. I appreciate that, Richard James. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a special case for me. It's something that is of great importance in my life, my journey. Because this is like most first novels. I have 9 unpublished novels that I'm probably going to do before this. I'm going to do the 9 novels first because they're not autobiographical. This is an autobiographical story full of magic and wonder. But it's full of, some parts that'll make you laugh, some parts that make you cry, some parts that are action worthy, some parts that are, that's a cliche, by the way. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry. Pardon me for the cliche, but it'll have that effect on you. It'll have that gripping notion that you're within the story. You're not just reading something, just to read it. You're actually participating in it. Because you're gonna wonder, you're gonna think like about your own self. Do you ever wonder? Did you ever think about your own self and your own placement in the world and why you are here and what you're doing here? Not in a mystical sense, not in the sense, oh well, God put me here, or even in a non-mystical sense, in a socialized sense. I'm here because of my country. I'm here because of the state or something like that. No, this challenges all of that. This puts to work the idea of the individual. That's the key to all of this. Individualism. If anything you can walk away from this story, I hope you understand that it's about the individual. I hope you understand that it's about individualism. It's about being yourself, being rationally self-interested, being selfish. Yes, that's true, Richard James. Very true. Very true. That is a fact. So I want you to take on the idea that this story is transformative. It can rearrange and beautify your life. It has that ability. It has that chance. It has that capability. And we have to recognize that. Because not every some stores are just throwaways. And they make millions. I'm not even kidding. There's some stories, and plus in the age of I call them learned machines, but you're probably used to the word AI or artificial intelligence. But I call them learned machines. That's the proper role, I think, is to say. Dr. Lockett of the Ayn Rand Institute, usually says learned machines. But what I think is that the fact that so many people are aware of themselves, but only on a superficial level. Just like most people say, oh, she's selfish. Oh, he's selfish. They say it as dismissively. They say it to say, well, I'm going to respond to Richard James on this one. He didn't ask a question. So he said, the Harry Potter stories made millions and it's a piece of garbage. Actually, it made billions. If you take into account all the trading cards and the theme park and the movies and everything like that, made J.K. Rowling a billionaire. She's not a billionaire anymore, she claims, because she gives it away to charity. But people are hating on her. People are hating on her because of her views on trans. Totally wrong. Vicious. Evil. She's a creative force. One of the most creative forces in all of human history. Her books stand close to like classics like, the Bible. She's on that list. She's on that. If you go to Wikipedia and see how many books have been sold, she's up there. She's close to that range, as well as books by Agatha Christie, J.R. Tolkien, so many other authors, that have sold millions of almost billions of books. She's up there. And then for her to be, chastised, and, there's memes going around of her saying like she bought a yacht and they're hoping that orcas come and damage it. It's this evil, vicious, envious, nasty talk like that just, puts a little spur under my, saddle or under my seat. It makes me want to, write even more because I want to write for my life. Like she writes for her life. She was a welfare recipient riding on trains, sketching in a book, in a notebook, her ideas for Harry Potter. Now, if you can just imagine that, how she rose from that position to where she is right now, that's beautiful. And that's what I'm trying to do with my stuff. I'm not going to play around and say, oh, I just do it for the art. And I do it for the art, but it's also for the dough. Common once asked that. Wonder if it's for the art or for the dough. It's for both. And they're not contradictory. That's what's so great about it. That's happiness, non-contradictory joy. You don't have any contradictions in your mind or in what you say. Hey, I don't want to talk about Paul Rubens, sir. No, sir. I don't want to talk about Paul Rubens. But you can. If you want to talk about him in the live chat, go feel free. But I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about J.K. Rowling. She revolutionized the game, made people want to do all kinds of different series and ideas and challenges in their workspace. That's what she did. She made sure that she had in her mind that she could do it. And she did it very well. She did extremely well. And for her to be chastised and vocally brutalized is an offense to me. That's offensive. That's deserves discrimination. You know, you can say whatever you want, but you should be discriminated against for what you say, depending on if it's a private organization. Like, you can't talk that way about J.K. Rowling in my house. You can't talk about J.K. Rowling in my business like that. That should be the standard. That should be what is so powerful about freedom of speech. And it's sad. It really is sad, because that's going to tarnish her whole legacy. They're going to say, "Oh, she was a great author, and oh, she sold so many books, and there were so many different rides and playing cards and T-shirts and booklets and that." Oh, but she was talking about trans people. Oh man, daggone it. Talking about trans. Can't talk about trans. Yes, you can. Everybody can get it. So, for anybody that thinks, that ruler of the kingdom of the air is offensive, please take me on and let me know what you find offensive, what you find to be discriminatory, what you find to be disrespectful, and I'll gladly show you why it's not. Gladly show you what point I'm not trying to drill in or make or stand on a soapbox, but just to give you a gist of what the story is. That's what I want to show. I just want to give you that overarching theory thinking that it has not been. Oh, I disagree with you, sir, Richard Jones, with the Kennedy thing. I disagree with you. It was way before that, way before Kennedy, way before Kennedy. It just, with the might and the power of people who know their way, know what they're doing, and know what they can be. That is what I'm trying to be. That's what I'm trying to convey. That's the story I'm trying to show people. I'm trying to show people the fact that they can be free in their minds, have actual free minds. And that's what's so powerful about this story. That's what reason, individualism, and capitalism are about for Ayn Rand. Free minds, free men, free markets. That's what it's about. That's that's the gist of the first chapter of Ruler of the Kingdom of the Air. That is the whole idea. To explore that, to understand that, to get a better understanding of what that means. To get that ball rolling in the sense of thought, provoking thought, shaping thought, understanding what it means to be a thoughtful person, to be an independent thinker, to be an intellectual. Anyone can be an intellectual if you choose to think. That's all it takes. You can be an intellectual too. You just have to choose to think. You have to have the option of realizing and using reason to be the best human you can possibly be. Well, I had 2 people, I think, come in. I think the most person was 4. Richard James, I definitely respect you. I thought you were younger. I didn't know your age. You're 62. You're a definite supporter. I appreciate everything you do. Now it says 0. I'm talking to myself again. Rebroadcast people, it's been great. Thank you very much for for sticking around this long. And I will be on here either later on tonight or tomorrow. I'll see what happens with that. Thank you very much. Take care.